welcome back. I will be your drama queen for today, and I will be thoroughly dissecting the newly finished drama, Doctors. I get so many drama requests for you guys, and I'm so thankful for all of them, but the reason I decided to pick this specific drama was because I've never showed you guys my brutal and honest side. I mean, I've always been honest with you, but I've always been really positive because the dramas I've been reviewing I've really loved. This time it wasn't quite so. I just didn't feel it. It was not really my cup of tea. I finished it like an hour ago, but oh boy, I had to really force myself to sit down, focus, and be like, all right, what's going on? It just wasn't exciting for me. It didn't keep me at the edge of my seat throughout all the 20 episodes, and there were no cliffhangers at all at the end of any episode. And even if there were, they just weren't cliffhangy enough for me. Before I go any further, I just want to clarify that this is my personal opinion. If any of you are diehard fans of this drama, I'm really sorry. You might not really want to watch this review. Like I said, I am going to be honest. There were parts of it that I liked, but mostly I wasn't really a fan. Proceed at your own risk, basically. In terms of plot, I'm gonna be quick and simple and will just voice my disappointment about how many potentially great moments, amazing storyline developments, and just really powerful conversations disseminated and dropped and just bleh throughout the entire drama. And that was very sad and disappointing for me because I was really rooting for this drama. I wanted it to get better, but it just never did. For me. For example, when the big accident at the abandoned place happened with the fire and everything, I may be desensitized by all the other dramas, super exciting dramas, but even that accident wasn't exciting enough for me. Let's look at it that way. If the writers have decided to bring So to an abandoned place, I mean, we know what abandoned places mean in Korean dramas. They mean trouble. And I really wanted her to get in trouble. I really wanted there to be some kind of tension. And yes, So and Haejong, they started kind of arguing, but there just wasn't any build up there. And when So finally kind of started getting into it and pushing Haejong and just being like, come on, just fight me, like, Haejong just went like, So falls, hits her head, passes out, oops, fire starts. All right, there was no suspense. There you go, I found the word, there was no suspense. As soon as this accident happened, we find out that So is okay. What was the point of hitting her head and getting her unconscious? I thought maybe they would keep the suspense a little longer and make us wonder, oh my god, did Haejong actually accidentally kill her? Is she gonna get in tons of trouble? Is she never gonna see her grandma again? Like, all these questions were in my head for like 3 seconds until we found out that So is okay. Potential moment for greatness has been lost. Let's just take a moment of silence. Okay. Similarly, the argument at the rooftop that So and Haejong had at the beginning of the drama, I expected it to be a lot more dramatic. I expected them to say things that would just shut the other person up. I expected them to be so brutally honest with each other because they're young and they can say things to each other with a burst of emotions without thinking about it. But with the moment Haejong went on her knees and tried to apologize, So just went like, nah, it's not gonna work, just walks off. And even if that would have happened, fine. But Haejong was just sitting there not doing anything, and with her explosive personality and her gangster behavior, man, I do not believe that she would just be sitting there being like, alright, she left, whatevers. I just really wanted it to be good. Considering how this is a medical drama, I was also hoping that Professor Hong and Haejong would actually fail medically once, twice, maybe? Because every single surgery they did that they showed us was a success. I get it. It was mentioned somewhere that their success rate is almost perfect. So they have had some cases where they didn't do so well, but we weren't shown those cases. We didn't see how they dealt with those reactions. If you're gonna show a drama about doctors, about surgeons, with their crazy life and the crazy things they have to do and the decisions they have to make, why not show all the sides of it? I mean, you did show how director Jin made a mistake with Haejong's grandmother, but that's about it. All right, this is gonna sound really bad, but for a medical drama, there were really not that many deaths in this drama. It's out there, I said it, I'm sorry. All right, haters, keyboard warriors, go ahead, comment, hate at me right now. Go, I'm ready for the comments to just bombard me for being insensitive and terrible and just blah, 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 blah. But I have one thing to say to you guys. This is a drama, and I can be as dramatic and kill as many people as I wanted because it's not real. All right? cool. Overall, with the plot, it just really felt like the writers went easy on us as viewers. It just felt like they thought we couldn't handle suspense. We couldn't handle some main character to truly be in danger or to truly be in some kind of trouble where our hearts would be pounding and we would be sweating and feeling like, oh my god, what's actually gonna happen to them? Like, grr. I've felt these things in dramas before. I've been at the edge of my seat at other dramas before. It just didn't happen this time. Whew, I've been talking for a really long time. Moving on to actors and characters. Oh boy. Here I have a little bit more to say. In terms of actors though, I don't have any complaints. I really liked the entire cast. Everyone was in the right place. In terms of actors, they did their job well. Anything I say from now on is not directed towards your favorite actors. It's directed towards the writers. If by any crazy chance, families and friends of these writers watch my videos, I sincerely apologize. I have nothing against you guys. It took me a really long time to develop warm feelings towards the funny characters. You know, the fellows, the residents, and the nurses. At first, I bluntly didn't find them funny. I sat through a couple of their scenes and interactions and I was just like, these guys are really trying hard to be funny, but they're not. Again, wasn't the actor's fault. That's how their characters were written. I've only started warming up to these funny characters and really kind of growing accustomed to them and feeling kind of like family. You guys, UK drama fans know what I mean. Only when Kang-soo was going for his surgery. Only then I really felt like, man, yeah, I would miss these characters if they're gone. And that was like way beyond 10 episodes or even like 12 or 13 episodes into the drama. Man, it took you a while to win my heart over. As for the lead characters, I didn't like any male lead characters. Neither Professor Hong nor Yoon-do left a big impression on me. Professor was a little bit too much of a know-it-all. He would lecture everyone, and especially Haejong, too much. I mean, he just couldn't drop this teacher-student facade at all. I mean, I get it, you're older than her, I get it, you were her teacher, but if you want to build a relationship together, you might as well treat each other as equals. The dynamic just didn't excite me at all. But that's talking about the main couple. Speaking of the second main lead, Yoon-do was a coward, weak, ungentlemanly, and a little weird and awkward. He was a very confusing character because with So he was really straightforward, but then with Haejong he didn't seem to be straightforward, but then he learned his mistake and he was, and it was just like, ugh, what are you trying to do? He did go through the entire series with his just one love for Haejong, which I will give him that. Well done. But what he did to So and how brutally mean and nasty he was to her and her family, even though her family is nasty and they're rich, entitled brats, I mean, you still don't do that to people. Just because they're bad people, it doesn't give you a reason to be bad to them. So I was really happy when the writers kept him away from both So and Haejong. I'm glad he didn't get a love interest of any kind in the end because it would have just been awkward. I also thought it was really awkward how writers at some point in the drama threw in that awkward like, oh, why don't you date Inju? She's like 9 years your senior, but who cares? You know, you're both single, you're both under the same roof. K-drama logic. Going back to Professor Hong and Haejong's relationship, I really didn't like it. And that is pretty much the relationship that kept the entire drama together. Their relationship was the center point, and it didn't look sincere. It wasn't earnest. It wasn't genuine. I feel like they were never able to drop this teacher-student relationship up until the very end, up until he asked her to marry him at the last minutes of the last episode. Did I forget to mention spoiler alert? Oops. Well, now that I'm spilling all the beans, even when he asked her to marry him, he was like shying off and giggling and like, you know, touching her very awkwardly like, man, this is your woman for life. You got this woman. She said yes. You rigged her. And you're like awkwardly hugging her, awkwardly kissing her. Ah, it was just so cringe. I'm not gonna dig deep down into Haejong's character. Considering everything she went through, she didn't fall for Professor Hong for who he was. She fell for him because she was really young, she was 18, he was her teacher, a role model, the only person who treated her right, who gave her a chance to prove that she wasn't a bad person. And she fell for that. She didn't fall for him as a person, she fell for his actions and the way he treated her, and that is different. Obviously back when she was 18 she couldn't see the difference, but after 13 years, when you're like, what, 31? Oh my god, she was 31 in that drama. Was she? Wait. She's 31 in that drama! Oh my god. Okay. being a 31-year-old woman, you might as well understand that what you're feeling for that man is not love. And considering how much emphasis there was on love in that drama, in terms of the things people do for their loved one, the things that love makes us do, the main love story just wasn't a true love story. If anything, Haejung had a lot more chemistry with a motorcycle guy. Okay, at the beginning he appeared to be very sleazy and annoying and very pushy. People change, hopefully. He seemed to change, he seemed to be a good guy when he came back 13 years later. And I finally saw real Haejung. She was the real her, they were the same age, they just interacted better together, you know? She opened up to him and she was her true self. With Professor Hong, it seemed like every time he walked into the room, she would just go like, whoop, she would just stiffen up a little bit. I always say that age doesn't matter, but here it seemed like it did in this drama. Okay, I feel like I haven't said enough good things, so here are some good things. The grandma. I loved her. Both the actress and the character, she was so sweet and so amazing. I'm really sad that they killed her off so soon. And speaking of other things that I liked, there was a relationship that I really appreciated and I thought was really natural and grew out of true friendship rather than just weird encounters and kind of like, ooh, we know each other for 13 years, so we might as well like each other. This relationship was between So and Youngkook. They were such a perfect match. He's this loyal friend who's been with her through everything, and he's seen her at her worst, and I love the fact that in the end, So dropped this super high standard of hers, and she stopped caring about where he's from, what his background is, what he has, his social status and whatever, and she truly cared and seemed to have started developing feelings for Youngkook. So that was really refreshing, and I really liked her development as a character. She was really annoying in the beginning. She was almost as annoying throughout the drama, but then in the end, she turned out to learn her lesson and be a really nice character. I don't have much to say in terms of production except for the fact that I really liked the filming during fighting scenes. Kind of like the mixture of slow-mo and fast-mo, and just, it was really well done. You guys will know what I'm talking about. The bridge scene where Professor Hong and Haejung are riding bikes together was really beautiful. Not gonna lie, it was really well done, and it was shot by drones. You guys know I love drones. Anything that's shot by drones, I'm going to appreciate because it's just so good, the quality. And one comment from my flatmate actually, who kind of saw bits and pieces of this drama together with me. Her being a Girl Scout and knowing first aid and just knowing a little bit about broken fingers and things like that, she told me that at the beginning of the drama there have been so many instances where Haejung would just grab people by their fingers and just like and those people would be withering in pain and the sound effects would be like but then the moment Haejung lets go, they're like, oh okay, I'm fine, I'm alright, I'm gonna just pack up my stuff and go. That was just like a little tiny thing that I noticed. Moving on to soundtracks, I have nothing bad to say about them. Really liked them, they were really appropriate, sometimes too appropriate actually. It felt like a lot of the dramatic background music was at times too dramatic for the action that was taking place in the drama. It was compensating for the lack of action. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I've been talking for a really long time, so in terms of miscellaneous things, I don't really have much to say except for one. The toy catching machine was weird. All you diehard fans of this drama, however you're gonna defend this, whatever you're gonna tell me that, oh, but it shows his cute side and, you know, they bonded so well together over this machine, no, it was not cute, it was creepy. He's a 40-year-old man with a toy catching machine at his house, and he catches toys for pleasure, as a hobby, at home, alone. That's beyond my creepiness level. Alright, so that is it for today's review. I hope you didn't mind me being brutal and honest about how I felt about this drama. Overall, it really wasn't that bad. I just wanted to point out everything I didn't like about it just so that we can have something to talk about in the comment section where you guys are free to leave your opinions, whether you agree with me or not. I really am curious to hear what you have to say, so please don't hesitate and comment. If you do agree with me, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I will be making more reviews of good dramas and not so good dramas in my personal opinion. And if you're curious about what I will be reviewing next time, please stay tuned, subscribe, and I love y'all. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye! Mwah.